It's $1 million city, and it's a bunch of millionaires walking around, both retirees. It's some active duty, like contrary to what people think. There's active duty service members that are millionaires. There's retirees between Killeen, Copperas Cove, Harker Heights. It's a lot, more than you know.
There's one thing you wish somebody would have told you before you got here that you learned when you got here. What would that be? All right, tell them your name.
CW2 Tyrone Lander.
All right, man. How long you been in the area?
I've been in this area. This is my second time here. So first time 4 years, and then the second time was 6 years and counting.
When's the first time you came?
I came 2011 to 2014.
I feel like I didn't know that about you, man.
Yeah. This is my second time, so I came back.
And you came back with a force because you knew what you was getting into the next time.
Back. I came the first time like everybody else, scared, knew Fort Hood formerly. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be bad. I didn't want to do anything. And then when I got here, I realized it wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was. So with the premise of all the different duty stations for the Army, I knew coming back here was good. Like investment, long-term, family, things to do. I was like, oh yeah, I'll come back to Cavazos based off of what I saw between going from Washington, North Carolina, Georgia. This one, the state is more advantageous to come back to. So it was a smart business move for me as well.
So we met in 2018. Was it 2018? I think 2019. Yep, 2019. You got a property, and you was one of the few people who had the same mindset as me, and you said it. This is $1 million city.
$1 million city. It's crazy. It's $1 million city, and it's a bunch of millionaires walking around, both retirees. It's some active duty, like contrary to what people think. There's active duty service members that are millionaires. There's retirees between Killeen, Copperas Cove, Harker Heights. It's a lot, more than you know. I would say ballpark figure that I personally know, at least 30.
Wow, at least 30, and all military affiliated.
Military affiliated, whether they did a 20-year or a 10-year, they came with a plan, they saw the vision, and then they got out and stuck around.
So one piece of advice for somebody who is coming to this area.
Buy in this area, don't rent. Even though the pricing in the market and APRs fluctuate, this area is growing steadily, despite what people say. It's growing.
What's the one thing you love about here?
One thing I love is the diversity. So I like the variation. You got 3 cities that make up Cavazos area. So you'll get you get a little hood, you get a little country, you get a little city, you can get all of that. And then, I mean, less than 3 hours, you can be in a whole nother trajectory. Houston, Atlanta, San Antonio, Austin, New Braunfels. You can go Six Flags. You can go Six Flags Dallas, San Antonio. You got Disney. Like, it's too much going on for you to be stationed. So to be stagnant. So people will come to Killeen and get stagnant. Yeah, Killeen's relatively boring, but I mean, Houston is like the 3rd largest city in the U.S. and it's a 2-hour drive, straight highway. Like, why would you not go out there and get your turkey leg hut? You can go out party, whatever you want, hit the zoos. It's just something for everybody.
That's how I describe Killeen, as a transient city. Like, most of the people who come here, they're not staying here. And then if you are here and you're staying, you can go anywhere else in the state real quick and get a taste of pretty much everything. All right, so we all said it's good things. What's the thing you hate?
Again, what I was saying earlier, I mean, Killeen is a little rough. The city itself is small, so it just depends on where you're coming from. If you're used to small cities, small town things, they have everything you need. But if you want some variety, you do have to drive. So everybody doesn't want to drive 2 hours. The growth is kind of stifling. Like, the city is growing, but it's the same stuff here. So we're saying in like a 10-minute radius, okay, it's a couple of restaurants. After I ate them all, I'm gonna have to go far. So again, planning to go far, and depending on if you got family, car, financial status, that might be a determinant. Other than that, there's not too much bad things to say. You just gotta understand comparing big city and small cities. It's what it is.
So you would say, I like where you said growth is a little stagnant. It's kind of redundant. Like, how many churches are we gonna put here? How many Popeyes? Like, it's gonna make that make sense. So I feel like you may have already kind of answered this, but if you're somebody who's coming, you maybe don't have a family, or give me 2 examples. Somebody who doesn't have a family might be wanting to meet new people, and people who do have families want to meet new people and build community. Any advice for that?
All right, so if you're trying to meet, or if you have a family, because it's a military town, it's really the premise is a lot of families. So there's a lot of city things going on. It's a lot of parks, small parks, dog parks. I'll say stuff for younger kids to do, these little play areas. It's not a lot of big ones, but I heard Dave & Buster's is coming, so that's going to be major.
We got bootleg Dave & Buster's too.
Yeah, you got the bootleg. You got the Sky Zones, the little trampoline park. So age dependent, there's some things. If you're single, probably not a lot to do. There ain't no brunch setups, but at 45 minutes, you go to Pflugerville, you go to Georgetown, of course, Austin, and the plethora of things to do in Austin. Now it's brunch galore. Brunches, hookahs, restaurants, shopping. They have the variety of shopping. And then if you want to take it a step up, then you go to Dallas. Then you go to Houston. And I mean, now we're in another level based off of tiers of going out in age ranges. So I think you got some variety. You just got to plan your weekends.
Where favorite date night spot? It doesn't have to be in Killeen. It can be outside because I know you spend a lot of time outside.
Two. So I will give you one in Killeen, in the area, in Copperas Cove, Giovanni's Italian spot. Beautiful. It looks like Italy inside. They got the waterfalls and stuff. I would hit Giovanni's locally. Outside, I'm going to the Domain. So the outdoor shopping area, they have all the boutiques, so you can get your Gucci, Louis Vuitton. You can go on the other side and have little shoe boutiques. And then they got Perry, some small mom and pops. It's something for everybody. Bars, clubs, restaurants, everything. Laser tag, VR. So that right there, you can take the family, you can go solo. You won't be disappointed. Best
interview ever. If there is one thing that you wish somebody would have told you before you got here, it's kind of messed up because you got to come twice. If there's one thing you wish somebody would have told you before you got here that you learned when you got here, what would that be? A lot of people don't have an answer. So
it's the reason why I came back. Real estate. I knew I wanted to buy something. So being in the military, a lot of times it's whatever you can pack up is what you take with you. So I had couple cars, nice TV and all that stuff, but I didn't have a home. And this is like an investment when we're talking that maturity level, having something to gain equity on, give to your family, kind of rooting yourself, what you wanted to do. If you don't know where you're going to retire, I wanted to buy real estate, and I was like, Killeen was it. Like I said, all the stuff that we've talked about this here, the market steadily climbing. So I wish I would have bought before because we understand prices are going up. I had that gap. I bought a duplex when I came back the second time that you sold to me. The first one, I bought the same duplex. So I seen it one time. I bought it in the neighborhood over. It was $120,000 in 2014. I closed around 200. And they did nothing to it. So I could have had it myself, bought down, had equity, and then we ain't even gonna talk about it. This is pre-COVID numbers too.
Yeah.
And then after COVID, it just doubled. So I could have had triple the investment, if I knew better, if I just had some mentorship or something like this to know. So touchdown, buy. All the soldiers that I get involved with, I always tell them to buy. And some of them take the advice, and the ones that don't regret it later and be like, dang, chief, I should have did what you said. So buy.
You sent me a few people pre the boom that ended up not working out for whatever reason, and I know they're kicking themselves. All right, let me take a selfish moment. Who's the best real estate agent in the whole of this Killeen area?
And this guy, Steph Harris, killer. He gets to it. I mean, honestly, I had another realtor when I came here, and they was kicking their feet. One first meeting, I think it was over the phone. He had did more work without even meeting me, no paperwork, anything, than any other realtors that I had, and that's why we ended up sticking it out. And I was like, this dude calling me, telling me stuff that I don't even need to know, but that's how thorough, the level of thoroughness. And I was like, yeah, I like this guy.
Best commercial ever. I appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.